Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. Many people dream of living in New York City. It is a very exciting place, often called the city that never sleeps. It has tall buildings, famous parks, and many different cultures. People come from all over the world to see its energy and opportunities. For some, it is a place to start a new life or to follow a big dream. The idea of living in such a busy and important city can be very appealing. Imagine walking through Times Square, seeing a Broadway show, or simply enjoying a coffee in a small cafe. These are some of the images that make New York City a special dream for many. But what does it really cost to live in this famous city? This is a big question for anyone who thinks about moving there. New York City is known for being expensive. Understanding the money needed is very important. The cost of living is not the same for everyone. It changes a lot based on how you live and where in the city you choose to stay. Your choices make a big difference in your monthly spending. For example, a single person might need a certain amount of money each month, not including their rent. Students, too, have different costs depending on their housing and other needs. This lesson will look at these costs in a simple way. Living in New York City can be costly, but it is also possible to manage your money well. There are many parts to consider when thinking about expenses. These include the place where you sleep, how you travel every day, what you eat, and the fun things you do. Each of these areas has its own costs, and these costs can change a lot. For example, living in one part of the city might be much more expensive than living in another part. Eating out every day costs more than cooking at home. Taking a taxi costs more than taking the subway. This lesson will help you understand these different costs. It will give you a clear picture of what to expect financially. In this lesson, we will explore the main parts of living in New York City. First, we will look at finding a home. This is often the biggest cost each month. We will talk about different areas and ways to save money on rent. Second, we will discuss getting around the city. New York has many ways to travel, and some are much cheaper than others. We will learn about public transport like the subway and buses. Third, we will cover buying food. This includes buying groceries to cook at home and finding affordable meals when eating out. We will also look at famous New York foods that do not cost much. Finally, we will talk about having fun. There are many exciting things to do in New York City, and some of them do not cost any money at all. We will explore free parks, bridges, and ferry rides. By looking at these 4 important areas, you will get a better idea of the financial side of life in this amazing city. 2. A place to live. Finding a place to live in New York City is often the biggest cost each month. It is a very important part of your budget. The money you pay for rent will be a large part of your total spending. This is the first big financial step to take when moving there. The price of an apartment changes a lot depending on its location. Manhattan is known as the most expensive part of New York City. Rent here can be very high, often thousands of dollars every month for even a small place. This makes it challenging for many people to live there alone. Strong demand for housing in Manhattan pushes prices up, but there are other options for finding a home. You can find more affordable apartments in other areas, called the outer boroughs. Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx are popular choices, offering many neighborhoods. Staten Island also provides cheaper places to live. Rents in these areas are usually lower than in Manhattan. This means you can often get a larger apartment or save money by choosing to live outside of Manhattan. Many people choose to live in these boroughs and travel to work or school using public transport. Because rent can be so high, many people choose to share an apartment. This is a common and smart way to save money. When you share an apartment, you live with one or more roommates. You all split the cost of the rent and other monthly bills, such as electricity or internet. This makes living in New York City much more possible. Sharing an apartment can bring the monthly cost down a lot. For example, a room in a shared apartment might cost between $800 and $1,500 each month. This is much less than renting a whole apartment by yourself. It helps many students and young workers afford to live in the city. In New York City, you can find different kinds of homes to rent. Most homes are apartments in large buildings. You might find a studio apartment, which is one big room for living and sleeping. There are also apartments with 1, 2, or even more separate bedrooms. Some buildings are very old, and you might live in a walk-up building, meaning there is no elevator. Newer buildings often have modern features. The type of home, its size, and its condition will also change the rent price. It is important to think about what kind of home fits your needs and your budget. 3. Getting around the city. Getting around a big city like New York can seem hard, but New York City has a very good public transportation system. You do not need a car to travel here. This system helps many people move around every day. The subway and buses are the main ways to travel. They go to almost all parts of the city. A single ride on the subway or a local bus costs $2.90. If you travel only sometimes, a single ticket is fine. However, if you use public transportation often, you can save money. There are special passes for regular travelers. A 7-day unlimited Metro card costs $34. With this card, you can ride the subway and buses as many times as you want for 7 days. For people who live in the city and travel every day, a 30-day unlimited Metro card is a good choice. This card costs $132. It lets you use the subway and buses for a whole month. These passes make daily travel much cheaper. There are also other ways to move around the city. Walking is a great option. It is completely free. When you walk, you can see many interesting things. You can explore different neighborhoods and find new places. Walking is also good for your health. Another free and healthy way to travel is biking. New York City has many places to ride a bike. You can rent a bike or use your own. Biking can be a fast way to get around, especially for shorter distances. Sometimes you might need to use a taxi or a ride-sharing app. These options are easy to find in the city. You can call a taxi from the street or use an app on your phone. However, taxis and ride-sharing services cost more money than the subway or buses. They are often used for special trips or when you are in a hurry. For example, a taxi ride from one part of Manhattan to another can cost $20 or $30 or even more. So if you want to save money, it is better to use public transport, walk, or bike. Choosing how to travel depends on your budget and how much time you have. For daily travel, the subway and buses are the most common and cost-effective choices. For short trips or seeing the city, walking and biking are excellent and free. Taxis and ride-sharing apps are there for convenience but come with a higher price. Understanding these options helps you manage your money while enjoying all that the city offers. 4. The cost of food. Food is an important part of daily life, and its cost in New York City can be different for everyone. How much you spend depends a lot on your choices. It is one area where you can save money if you plan carefully. The best way to save money on food is to buy groceries and cook your meals at home. Many people living in the city choose this option. You can find many supermarkets and smaller food stores all around New York. These stores offer fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, and other items. When you cook for yourself, you know what goes into your food. It also helps you control your budget better. For one person, buying groceries for a whole month usually costs between $300 and $500. This cost can change based on what you like to eat and where you shop. New York City is also famous for its special and often cheap foods that you can buy outside. These are great choices when you do not want to cook. For example, a classic New York pizza slice is very popular. You can often buy one for only $3 or $4. It is a quick and tasty meal. There are also many street food carts everywhere. These carts sell different kinds of food. You can find things like hot dogs or a delicious falafel sandwich. A falafel sandwich might cost about $5.50 to $7. These street foods are a good way to eat out without spending too much money. When you want to sit down and eat in a restaurant, the cost will be higher. Meals at restaurants usually cost more than cooking at home or buying food from a cart. However, New York City has thousands of restaurants. They offer food from all over the world. You can find restaurants for every kind of budget. Some places are very expensive, but many others offer good food at reasonable prices. In summary, managing your food budget in New York City gives you options. Cooking your own food is the most budget-friendly choice. But when you want to eat out, the city also provides many famous and affordable options like pizza and street food. For special occasions or just a nice evening out, restaurants are available. Your food costs will depend on your choices. 5. Having fun on a budget. New York City offers many fun things to do without spending a lot of money. It is possible to enjoy the city on a budget. You do not always need to buy tickets or pay for entry to have a good time. There are many options for free or low-cost entertainment. One great free activity is walking. For example, you can walk in Central Park. This large park is in the middle of Manhattan. It has green spaces, lakes, and walking paths. You can spend hours there just walking or watching people. It is a nice place to relax and enjoy nature in the city. The park is open every day. Another famous walk is across the Brooklyn Bridge. This bridge connects Manhattan and Brooklyn. When you walk on it, you get amazing views of the city skyline. You can see tall buildings and the East River. It is a popular spot for photos. The walk is free and offers beautiful sights. Also, you can take a ride on the Staten Island Ferry. This ferry is completely free for everyone. It travels between Lower Manhattan and Staten Island. During the ride, you can see the Statue of Liberty very clearly. You can also see Ellis Island and the New York Harbor. Many people use this ferry to see these famous landmarks without paying money. It is a pleasant boat trip. For those who like art and history, New York has many museums. Some of the best museums have special days or times when entry is cheap. Sometimes they even let you pay what you wish. This means you can pay a small amount or nothing. It is a good way to see amazing art and exhibits without a high cost. Always check the museum's website for these special days. During the warmer months, especially in summer, the city hosts many free events. You can often find free concerts in different parks. There are also free outdoor movies and plays. These events happen in various parks, bringing entertainment to everyone. They are a great way to enjoy local culture and live music outdoors. People often bring blankets and snacks. These free activities help people have fun without spending money. Overall, New York City has many ways to have fun even if you have a small budget. You can explore famous places, enjoy nature, see art, and listen to music. All these activities help you experience the city's vibrant life without a big cost. It shows that you can live an exciting life in New York without spending all your money. 6. Other everyday bills. Living in New York City involves more than just rent, food, and transportation. Many other everyday bills are important to consider when planning your money. These costs add up and are a regular part of city life. Understanding them helps you manage your budget better. First, there are utilities. These include electricity, which powers your lights, appliances, and electronics. You also pay for heating to keep warm in the colder months and sometimes air conditioning for hot summers. Water is another necessary utility. The cost of these bills can change each month. It depends on how much you use them. For example, leaving lights on or having long showers can make your bill higher. The size of your apartment also affects utility costs. Some apartments might include 1 or 2 utilities in the rent, but often you pay for them separately. It is a good idea to try to save energy to keep these costs lower. Next, staying connected is very important. An internet connection at home is needed for many things, such as studying, working, watching videos, and talking to friends and family online. Different internet plans offer different speeds and prices. You will also need a phone plan for your mobile phone. This allows you to make calls, send messages, and use the internet when you are outside your home. Phone plans also vary a lot in price, depending on how much data and calls you need. Choosing the right plan for both internet and phone can help you manage these regular expenses. Thinking about your health is also a big part of living in any city. Medical care in New York City can be expensive if you do not plan for it. It is very important to have health insurance. Health insurance helps you pay for visits to the doctor, medicine, and hospital stays if you get sick or have an accident. Without insurance, even a small visit to the doctor can cost a lot of money. Planning for health costs means you are ready for unexpected situations and can get the care you need without a big financial worry. This is a critical part of your overall financial planning. Finally, there are personal expenses. These are the things you buy for yourself and your daily life that are not rent, food, or transport. This includes clothes such as new shirts, pants, or a winter coat. You also buy personal care items like soap, shampoo, toothpaste, and haircuts. Other personal spending might include going to the laundry, buying cleaning supplies for your home, or small treats like coffee or snacks. If you have hobbies like reading books or playing sports, these can also add to your costs. These expenses depend a lot on your personal choices and lifestyle. You have more control over these costs compared to fixed bills like utilities. So when you create your budget for living in New York City, remember to include all these other everyday bills. Utilities, internet, phone plans, health costs, and personal spending are all important parts of your total monthly expenses. Thinking about all these costs helps you understand the full financial picture of living in the city and how to manage your money well. 7. Tips for saving money. Living in a big city like New York can be expensive. However, there are many smart ways to save money. With good planning, you can enjoy the city without spending too much. First, it is important to make a monthly budget. This is a plan for your money. You need to know how much money you have and how much you spend. Write down all your costs each month. This helps you see where your money goes and find places to save. Housing is usually the biggest cost. To save money on rent, many people share an apartment. Living with roommates makes rent much cheaper. Also, apartments in outer areas like Brooklyn or Queens are often less expensive than in Manhattan. Choosing these places can save you hundreds of dollars each month. Food is another important area to save. Cooking your own meals at home is much cheaper than eating out. Buy groceries and prepare your own food. This is one of the best ways to save money daily. When you want to eat outside, look for affordable options. New York has many places for a cheap slice of pizza or street food. These cost less than a full meal in a restaurant. For getting around, public transportation is your friend. The subway and buses are good ways to travel. If you use them often, buying a weekly or monthly pass can save money. Walking and biking are free and healthy ways. Try to avoid expensive taxis or ride-sharing apps for everyday trips. Finally, you can have fun without spending much. New York City offers many free activities. For example, walk across the Brooklyn Bridge for great views. Explore Central Park's beautiful paths. Take a free ride on the Staten Island Ferry to see the Statue of Liberty. Many museums have special days where you can pay what you wish. Find free concerts or movies in city parks. Choose these free options when you go out with friends. By making a budget, cooking at home, using public transport wisely, and enjoying free entertainment, you can save a lot. These tips help you live well in New York City without spending too much. 8. The main lesson. This book has explored the different costs of living in New York City. We have looked at finding a place to live, moving around, buying food, and enjoying free time. We also discussed other daily bills and ways to save money. The total cost of living in New York City can be high. It is known as one of the most expensive cities in the world. Understanding these costs is the first step to making your dream of living there possible. This chapter brings together all the lessons learned. A very important idea from this guide is that your personal choices greatly affect how much money you need. For example, where you choose to live makes a big difference. Rent in Manhattan is much higher than in other parts of the city, like Brooklyn or the Bronx. Sharing an apartment with roommates can also save you a lot of money each month. This decision alone can change your total costs by hundreds or even thousands of dollars every year. Your daily habits also play a key role. Think about food. If you buy groceries and cook your meals at home, you will spend less money. Eating out in restaurants often will cost more. The same is true for transportation. Using the subway and buses is cheaper than taking taxis or ride-sharing apps every day. Choosing to walk or bike for short distances saves money and is good for your health. Having fun does not always mean spending money. New York City offers many free activities, such as walking in Central Park or across the Brooklyn Bridge. Visiting museums on special free days or enjoying free outdoor events also helps keep your budget low. If you often choose expensive shows or fancy dinners, your monthly entertainment costs will quickly grow. Every small choice adds up over time. In conclusion, living in New York City requires good planning and smart choices. It is possible to live there, but it needs careful thought about how you spend your money. Making a monthly budget is very helpful. By choosing to live in a more affordable area, sharing an apartment, cooking at home, using public transport, and enjoying free activities, you can manage your expenses well. These actions show that living in New York City is achievable. New York City offers many exciting experiences and opportunities. The financial reality is that it can be costly. But with careful planning and a clear understanding of your lifestyle choices, you can make living in the city possible. This guide has given you tools to understand these costs. Your dream can become real with smart money management and a focus on your budget. The city waits for those ready to plan well and live smartly.